What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rest Hold Podcast. This is episode 38 on the road to WrestleMania 38. Brought to you, as always, by your boys Tanner, Fred, and me, Zach Foreman. Tanner, say what's up.
That would have been really cool if we had planned it
if we were just one week early,
later. Yeah, that would have been sick.
Yeah.
But, here we are anyway.
Had to bring you the weekly episode.
Had to. Couldn't skip it.
No days off.
We couldn't, double up the numbers or something, like a 37.5.
Yeah.
But no.
Ooh. 38.1 actually.
Version with a patch notes,
yeah.
Pretty standard week in, the wrestling world again, which is not what you want to hear, really, on your road to WrestleMania.
We got a couple things going on, right? We got Ronda Rousey sick.
Yeah. She tore...
injured and sick.
Something in her mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
maybe she won't have to talk as much now.
Maybe she just won't be at Mania. But, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll see what those long-term implications are. Probably nothing.
Probably nothing.
She'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What do we got storyline-wise going into Mania? We got, Roman and Brock is still entertaining, and Seth.
One thing that you and I talked about a little bit of texting during the week is reading some dirt sheets, as we do. And
As everyone does.
They are what they are. They're dirt sheets.
Yeah.
But apparently, the main event for night one could be the KO show as opposed to a match. And I think this is one of the first times, maybe ever on the podcast, where we could not have more differing opinions on this.
Yes and no. So we're not completely opposites here. My take, which if you've been listening to the pod, you know my take, is Ronda and Charlotte cannot main event.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't do it. As I said, if I was there and Ronda Rousey was the last attraction, I'm leaving and I'm beating traffic to go home. So if I know Kevin Owens is last and I know Steve Austin is coming out, I'm going to be sticking around.
That's true.
So, yes, you should probably not main event WrestleMania with a talk show. I'll just say that. You shouldn't really main event Raw with a talk show.
Yeah.
But if my only alternative to Kevin Owens and Steve Austin talking and Kevin Owens inevitably getting stunned is Ronda Rousey, I'm taking a talk show.
As much as I don't like Ronda, I just can't agree. Mm-hmm. It's WrestleMania. It has to finish with a match.
Yeah.
Whether something happens after that match, as part of the match, is one thing. Mm-hmm. But it has to end with a match.
Right.
And I just can't budge on that fact.
And you're probably right. Mm-hmm. And in the grand scheme of things, while I'm saying it today, I probably come the day of would be like, we need a match.
Yeah.
But if the initial plan was to go with Becky and Bianca and they did this, I would be furious.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that I love the idea of main eventing with the talk show. It's just I'm so anti having Ronda be the main event of WrestleMania.
Fair. No, that's definitely fair. We've been pretty vocal about our
anti-main event stance.
Yeah. Because, have the match. I mean, I don't care.
Charlotte versus Ronda, it's fine. Mm-hmm. It is. That's what it is. It's fine. It'll bring in fans, I guess. If you think that, it's a terrible idea to have Charlotte lose, which I think is where they're going.
Sure. I mean, we'll get into predictions next week.
Yeah.
Next week's going to be just pretty much just a prediction show.
And it's 3 nights of, 3 events.
3 events of wrestling.
TV, so
it's a lot.
Yeah, it'll be a decent amount of predictions.
Yeah.
But
which kind of leads me to the second kind of conversation I wanted to discuss. One of my friends and I were texting. He was asking me my opinion on some things. Shout out Not the Fake if you're watching. WrestleMania would be very, very good if it was one night. That card would be very good.
I think we kind of spoke about this too.
A little bit, but we never really got into it.
No, but especially this year.
This year would be really good.
It has the feuds, the meaningful feuds, to be a good WrestleMania.
If you just took the best 8 matches.
If you took
Seth and Cody, which it's Cody.
Spoiler, we'll talk about that in a second.
But it's Cody. Seth and Cody.
Yep.
Edge and AJ.
Yep.
both women's matches. I mean,
which
you have to.
Even Ronda being a weaker link, it's fine. The story is there.
Yeah.
So whatever.
That's 4. Roman
and Brock. the KO show.
The
take
KO
a
show.
slot,
We'll take
which
a
is
slot.
fine. Sammy and Knoxville gets your celebrity impact, which you like it, you don't like it. It's every year.
Yeah.
Every year there's some celebrity impact. So if that's even a quick segment, if that's a quick match, it's no holds barred or whatever.
Yeah.
So
And then whatever your last two is,
Like-
it doesn't really matter, right?
you
It's a good card.
Miz and Mysterio.
Yeah.
There you go. You got Miz and Mysterio.
And then a tag match or
Yeah.
something.
And yeah, you got the triple
Or
threat
even
tag.
Finn and
Yeah, Finn, Damian Priest, and you got
Yeah.
the Raw Tag Team
you got
Championships.
Theory and Pat too,
Yeah.
which will be good.
So it's all of that said, right?
Mhm.
It has potential to be good regardless.
Yes.
The problem is some matches are going to get time they don't deserve.
Mhm.
You're going to have matches or filler content that you don't need.
Mhm.
And it's going to be 8 total hours of wrestling when it could
On
be
the short end.
right. When it could be 4.5.
I'll even give you 5.
Yeah,
Take
5.
5 and
So go 7 to
do
midnight.
7 to midnight.
7 to
On-
midnight,
yeah.
one night of 9, 10 meaningful feuds
Yeah.
instead of 2 nights of it.
Yeah.
And are they going to add many more things to Mania? Probably not.
Probably not.
Right? That maybe an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle
Yeah,
Royal
that'll be
just
on
to
there.
get Omos a win.
Is Ricochet have a match?
He's Intercontinental Champion. He should have a match, but
I don't
they'll
think
thr-
he has anything
they
currently. I
will
could be
throw
dead
something
wrong.
like that together.
And then you have Drew and Corbin.
And Shinsuke and Rick Boogs.
Or if I the Usos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Also-
those are kind of the secondary, meaningless feuds.
One of my big things, and like, I'll die on this hill if I have to.
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania should not have a pre-show.
No.
You can have a pre-show of like a talk show. That's
Yeah.
fine, whatever. Should not have matches on a pre-show. If you don't
Agreed.
deserve to be in the card, you don't deserve to be in the card. Sorry,
Agreed.
but that's how it is.
100%. Or my only pushback on that, which I'm in agreement, like WrestleMania sells itself.
Yeah.
My only pushback would be like if you're trying to attract people, but this isn't a pay-per-view anymore,
No,
right?
yeah.
It's just on Peacock. So like you have one free match to get people like in the mood to watch wrestling. So
I think it works the opposite though. Especially when it's, especially as 2 nights.
yeah.
I think it's just like another match.
And the pre-show matches tend to be a skippable match to begin
Yeah.
with.
They tend to not be great.
Like, if you want someone to have, quote unquote, a WrestleMania match, right?
Mhm.
Just let them go on for the live crowd.
Yeah.
Like, get the live crowd a free, an extra event, a pre-show
Yeah.
match. Okay.
I have no problem with
whatever
that.
you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, let the person wrestle. That's good enough practice.
Yeah.
That's
And it's incentive to buy a ticket.
yeah.
Maybe
But-
not a whole lot more, but something.
But I agree. If I'm tuning in, and especially on Saturday, right? Because Saturday is going to be stand and deliver into WrestleMania Night 1.
Also, like, a lot of people don't do things Sunday. Saturday, most of the time, people have options.
Yeah.
Like, people could go out, people
Yeah.
can do this, do that, whatever.
But what I'm saying is more of the point is
It's a long day.
if I'm watching 3 hours of stand and deliver, which
I am.
is going to be a stack card, so we'll get to that too. I don't need 35 minutes of pre-show match.
Yeah.
Or even like the hour pre-show where I'm tuning in just to see the pre-show match, which could come on right before the main event or the main card starts, or come on somewhere in the middle just because you're supposed to be watching.
Yeah.
So like, I need that extra time to myself.
Yeah.
Honestly, because
I have things to do.
it's going to be somewhere around an 8-hour commitment to wrestling on Saturday,
Yes.
which is a lot.
It's a long time. It's a really long time.
Which, like, does WWE not care about NXT? I don't think so because they're doing this whole event. But that's going to be the event that takes a hit.
I just think it's tough. The problem is I respect that they wanted to have it in Dallas WrestleMania weekend, and that's great. Like, that's a good step. It's just where else do you put it?
This,
You can't be Friday because you
'Cause
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Saturday's Mania, Sunday's Mania. It can't be Monday.
no, because of Raw. I was going to
You
say
could do Tuesday, but
you could do Tuesday. I was going to say almost like Thursday. You know,
Okay.
like when Access
Beforehand,
starts or
okay.
whatever. Like, because isn't that what it is? Isn't Access like the Thursday, Friday?
do they still do Access? Is Access happening
I
again?
think it's again this
Okay.
year now.
Normally it's like Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
When I went, it was still one day.
Yeah.
So it was Friday, Saturday. So I'm
Okay. But
assuming it's Thursday, Friday.
yeah. So if you did Thursday, like then you have kind of like a full weekend of wrestling, which is a little more bearable.
Yeah.
But I can understand the concern of people not really watching on Thursday night.
But I think
you're also going to have people midday Saturday not watching.
Yeah.
So I just don't know.
It's tough. I think a decent fix, and this isn't great, but it kind of solves the problem a little bit. It will take away opportunities. Just put NXT on the main card. Just put him on Mania.
Yeah,
if this is your culmination of your year, just put him on Mania.
And maybe, like you said, it takes away some matches. Like, you can't have every NXT feud.
You probably have 3. Maybe a 4th.
You get your main title, you get your women's title, and then you decide if you want the North American or the tag.
Yeah.
You decide and make it happen. Because I'd rather that and skip Drew McIntyre versus Corbin, Rick Boogs and Shinsuke versus the Usos. Realistically, skip Knoxville and Zayn or Pat McAfee and Austin Theory. Like, do I want to watch Pat McAfee? Yeah, sure, 100%. I do. But I'd rather see these guys who I know, like Imperium and MSK and the Creed brothers, tear it up.
And if there's ever a time to like get more eyes on NXT, it's Mania. Yeah. It's Mania. It's the card. Yeah. It's Mania itself. Because like one, especially if you're like basically like we said, like cherry picking your matches on that, they're going to be good ass matches.
Yep.
Like they're going to be damn good matches.
Like Braun, Ciampa, and Ziggler, for instance. If that would have been on Mania.
But even just Braun and Ziggler is going to be awesome.
Good. Yeah.
That ladder match is going to be sick.
Yep.
The women's match I think will be good, but I understand why it could not be.
Yep.
But I don't know.
It's definitely something to think about. Maybe they will moving forward, especially because showing NXT at Mania would have a longer lasting and more beneficial effect than having 1 or 2 Raw superstars on NXT every week. Because, quite frankly, people are barely watching Raw.
Yeah.
You think they're going to tune in just because Miz is on NXT?
Yeah,
or just because Ziggler's on NXT? Like, with all due respect to Ziggler, what was he doing for the last 4 years before he won the NXT title? Like, a couple like throwaway tag team feuds?
Yeah.
The feud with Kofi?
Yeah.
Should have been me? Like, I don't know. And I love Ziggler, so that's not a slight at him. I'm just saying, like, will you be more inclined to tune in on Mania or Tuesday night?
And also, like, Miz TV opened the show.
Yeah.
I saw Ziggler, I saw Miz. I'm changing the channel.
Yeah.
If I don't watch NXT weekly, I'm changing the channel.
Yeah, I got what I wanted. I tuned in. I mean, I guess with that said, any big weekly television events happen?
Do you want to talk about Cody quick?
Oh, yeah. So
that's kind of a big one.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It's officially official.
Yeah.
As reported by people with more insight and knowledge than us, Cody Rhodes is officially signed to WWE as of like what they say, I guess 14
days ago.
Yeah, 14 days ago. So I don't know.
It kind of stinks. I wish we didn't have like as much internet as we did.
Yeah, I wish we didn't know.
That'd been really cool.
Because now the obvious.
It's Seth.
It's
obviously with Seth.
And that's one of 2 things could happen. So we're kind of like, Tanner thinks we're going to get his debut at Mania. Which
I think so.
Is probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But Seth had that meltdown on Monday Night Raw and said, next week I'm doing something to get my Mania match, or like the show will not go on. So maybe it's next week. Maybe it's the Monday before to get people watching. I don't know. It would seem
hope
like
you don't waste them.
I was gonna say it would seem like a wasted opportunity to like people know he's re-signed. People know he's gonna face. Well, we know.
Pretty sure he's gonna face
Seth, but like it seems like you would burn that on the Raw beforehand when instead you should just have Seth. Like you said, like your prediction was Seth's gonna come out, have like a meltdown at Mania, demand a match, and then who answers the call? Stardust.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine it was Stardust?
He comes back as Stardust. Did you see WWE.com Stardust back in the alumni section?
Really?
Yes. So
that means he's
more fun facts. Yeah.
That's funny.
That is.
Could you imagine came out as Stardust?
Boy.
I think I would be more happy than if he came out as Cody, just because the irony would be absurd.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Especially for like his whole thing was I left sports entertainment to be a wrestler, and then you come back as Stardust. Like that would be hilarious.
That'd be really funny.
But I am excited for Cody to be back.
I'm interested to see if they call him Cody Rhodes. I think they will.
They will 100%, and You want to know my thinking 2 steps ahead is he's beating Roman.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think so.
You think he'll take one of the belts?
Both.
No shot.
I think he's the guy.
No
he's
shot.
I guess probably one.
I think
both,
he'll take
both
one.
is a
I think he'll take
ambitious.
WWE.
Yeah, he'll take whatever.
And he'll stay
back.
on Raw. Because apparently the report is he'll be on Raw.
Yeah, he'll take it back to Raw.
Yeah.
I think that is the...
I think that's extremely possible.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely beating Seth.
And he's not coming back for nothing.
No.
Not coming back for nothing.
And if those initial numbers were right, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, and they're going to have big plans for him.
Yeah.
And it's a business. We're taking your VP and making him one of our top guys.
I wonder if they say AEW.
No
think so?
shot.
You think no way?
No way.
They said Impact.
Yeah, they let
her bring the belt.
wrestle, but
They let her bring the belt.
it's as much as it's not competition to WWE, it's the only closest.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I don't know if they do. But man,
I am a little upset that he's back because I don't get to go viral with my invasion angle rant for Ring of Honor.
yeah, you were prepping that.
Yeah, I was. I was going to have a meltdown.
Once AEW made their announcement that they acquired Ring of Honor, and that Cody's contract status was now up in the air, nobody knew what was happening. Tanner had preemptively put together a rant for if AEW just mimicked.
I was
going
going
to
have a meltdown. It was going to be bad.
But boy, did it seem like that was a possibility.
I thought it was happening for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought this was it, but it's not.
No.
So that's good.
Okay. Any big events from the week?
Brock
Lesnar.
he put a forklift through a car. That was cool.
Forklift certified.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I feel like he's got to be.
With the way he drove that thing?
No. I mean, Cora drove it pretty well. She's definitely not forklift
No, she is
certified.
not. Brock broke a door off.
Yeah, that's insane.
100%.
Do you think that's real?
100%.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know. But
I mean,
it's good.
A
to believe
cage
it
door, a chamber door versus a Escalade
door?
door. It's a little different.
Yeah, but he kind of just bent it backwards on the Suburban.
It's a
car
door.
What was the pit? It was a Silverado.
I think it was
Silverado?
Silverado.
Yeah.
But that's a car door.
Yeah, you're probably right. Whatever.
That's crazy.
But then he did lug it out there.
Yeah,
into the ring by himself. So
that's probably real.
That's probably real. Yeah. I don't know, man. Nothing else really jumping out.
Kevin Owens.
Yes, KO coming out as Steve Austin
was awesome.
The crowd reaction, if you didn't see it, I think was it Bleacher that posted it?
WWE posted it.
WWE posted it. The fan reactions when they realized it was just Kevin Owens
was awesome.
So fun.
Awesome. Kevin's a genius, man. That's good. Funny. That's really funny.
And I like to think that he just thought of that himself.
I was like, I'm just gonna go out with a ball cap, and they're like, "What?" Like, all right, hit Stone Cold's music.
Yeah. Dude, I'm very excited for that interaction.
I'm interested.
It's gonna be very funny.
I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, and just watching him get stunned and drowned in beer is gonna be.
That's gonna be cool.
Because that is what's going to happen.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the end result.
Bianca's future in question for WrestleMania.
No, no. Yes. In
broken throat.
Yeah. In kayfabe, she's gonna miss Mania, but in real.
Who do you think steps in her place?
No one.
Just not gonna have Becky on.
No. That's it.
Okay.
Just pulling the match.
All right.
Speaking of
matches that should be.
Okay. Of match that should be pulled now. Speaking of Becky, they did her wrong.
You think so?
In the makeup department on Monday. Dude, normally she comes out looking good. Not this Monday. Not this Monday. But that's not for this podcast.
I saw, I was reading the Bleacher reviews of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw something. I'm like, I don't know if these people watch. I really don't think they watch. Because the women's tag match is now Fatal 4-Way, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what they had the audacity to say?
That Natalya and Shayna are killers on the loose. No.
I don't think they've had this many women's tag teams since the titles were introduced.
They used to have a strong.
Do they remember
women's
last year's Mania? There was like a 6-team gauntlet match.
Mm-hmm.
Do they remember the women's elimination chamber?
Mm-hmm. They don't, but clearly they don't.
Like, what a terrible statement.
And we're not about to say that this is a roster stacked.
No.
with
I think they were saying the most, like, number-wise, not talent.
I know, but
No, none of these are.
This is 4 tag teams. This is the 4 tag teams.
And 3 of them aren't tag teams.
3 of them were put together this month. That's not
They
a
are
tag
not
team
tag teams.
division.
No.
That's not. You could. I don't care what you try to sell me it. Like, you want the titles on the card.
Mm-hmm.
That's all this is. And we were just talking about Mania. We didn't even mention this. We forgot. When we opened the show, we talked about the 2 matches worth of card, 2 nights worth of matches, and we forgot. Yeah. That's how useless.
The only
these belts
real
are.
tag team, the real women's tag team, like in the company, is probably like Kate and Canizaro or Kaden,
down in
Katie and Kane Carter.
Yep.
That's it. And probably Toxic Attraction.
Yes, that's it.
That's literally it.
Yeah. Very bad.
The rest of that tournament was put together. The entire main roster is just put together.
Mm-hmm. The women's tag division should be dissolved.
Yeah.
Or
I've been I agree. I've been preaching this for a long time. Mm-hmm. Dissolve the tag division and give them a mid-card belt.
Yes, 100%. But if they're so set on keeping the women's tag belt, one division, NXT included, just one division.
Yeah, just one division.
Because you can't keep doing this.
Yeah, it's not very good.
This. And
I think a women's mid-card belt would be really good.
It would be
super very
beneficial.
Good. Yeah.
Super beneficial.
Call it, don't call it something sexist like you did with the Divas title. Yeah. But think of a good name for it.
I think I saw something circulating online, and I'm not going to take credit for this, but I also don't remember
who it
where
was.
I saw it on
somebody
Instagram.
Online.
But
shout out
they said something like a woman's workhorse title, like a woman that's just kind of out there doing and sure, why not?
Yeah, but what do you call it?
I don't know, but just have her out there. She's doing her John Cena Open Challenge.
There you go. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And every woman on the roster gets to showcase their talent.
100%.
Because you're not going to have long-lasting feuds necessarily, like maybe a couple matches between the same people here and there. But
they can also turn into long-lasting feuds. Like, look at Cena did.
Yeah.
Like, he had some small feuds, and then it finished with a big feud with Kevin Owens. Yeah. So, you can do, small, tiny feuds in the meantime.
And then get to something.
Something real,
absolutely. So, and this just seems like it's a long time coming. Like, this seems like an idea that should have been, talked about often or more.
I think, once the Force Horsewomen kind of came through and you had, a pretty sizable roster for the women, you should have done this, but...
And if you look at this women's division, right, we're saying how the tag teams are all thrown together, but if you look at the women that are thrown into those matches, they're all capable of holding a mid-card title.
I don't think any of them are bad.
No, because you have Rhea, you have Liv, Natalia, Shayna, who was literally in the main event feud for a while, and then
Naomi.
Naomi.
It's Selena. Carmella.
Queen of the Ring. Yeah. And then Doudrop on the other side, who's not involved right now, but
Doudrop's around.
Raw.
Asuka when she comes back. I know she's more
Bayley
main, but
will be back.
Yeah, just something for
Evans,
these.
Who never got a title, but
there's definitely and I don't want to say find something for them to do, but the card is always going to be high percentage men.
Yes,
that's just how it is. There's more titles, there's more opportunities. That's just how it is. But instead of having these horrible feuds between Doudrop and Bianca for no reason, things like that, just have this belt, just assign it a belt, and then because. Even if the feuds aren't great, and there's going to be bad feuds. There's been bad feuds for every title you could think of. But it just has inherent value when you give it a belt.
Yes.
It makes me okay, this means something. There's a legitimate reward for winning this.
And then when you're throwing together these garbage matches that are just, and this is no offense because I'm not naming anyone specifically, but these skippable women's matches that you're putting on the card just for the sake of having a women's match on the card, at that point, now you could say it's a qualifying match for the mid-card title.
You know what you even do, too? I just thought of this, and I think it's a really good idea, and it kind of just creates opportunity by itself, is have a stipulation on the belt. Mm-hmm. Call it whatever you want. If you hold it for X amount of days...
You got to defend it?
No. If you hold it for X amount of days successfully, you can cash it in for a women's title match.
It's not bad.
And then it just gets and then you just redistribute it into the division.
Yeah.
Because now it's also one, the belt matters. Mm-hmm. 2, it has a legitimate meaning. Mm-hmm. And 3,
you'll want it for another reason.
You'll want it for another reason, but it'll be more actively defended because more people will be going for it.
Yeah, I want this belt because if I hold it for 45 days, 30 days,
whatever
60
it is,
days, I get a shot at Becky, I get a shot at Charlotte or Bianca, whoever.
And I also think it'll help your main champions.
Yeah.
Because it kind of puts them more on a pedestal.
Yeah, like your real champions are a step ahead. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So like when you're in that main, and dude, it's kind of like what you're saying. It's almost like always a Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Like I love that idea. Like a recurring, and it couldn't.
And
work.
it's not Money in the Bank like, oh, you got beat up after a match.
No,
Like, okay, I'm now the number one contender.
Yeah, like I'm cashing in. I want my match at whatever. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I like that a lot. That's a great idea.
They don't call me.
If we could say so ourselves.
Yeah,
like
they don't call me though.
Yeah. You got to write that in.
Yeah, definitely have to write that in. P.O.
Good.
Box.
Nothing else really.
I don't think so. NXT was good.
NXT has shaped up for a very good card.
Very good
Stand
card.
and Deliver is going to be very good.
How do you feel about this? The way the Dusty Cup is turned out for the women.
Dude, I don't know.
How do you feel about that cash in? We'll say.
I really I don't know what their plan is that they're making it a fatal 4-way. Like I don't.
While I agree with you on that. I do like that they're not going for the tag belts.
So it's definitely different. And I guess like you want to think outside the box, you want to do things like this. My only concern is that it might like just discredit the tournament in general. And like, yes and no, right? Because how much do people really care about the tournament? Yeah. But the point of the tournament is to enhance and showcase your tag division.
Yeah.
By having a tag team win and cash in for a joint chance at...
To be fair, though, at the same time, like...
Neither of them are a tag team.
Well, that's not even what I meant. It was more of... the kind of cash in for a title opportunity is new. Mm-hmm. I think it started last year.
Yeah. So
it's not, like... The tournament's still, like... There's still value in winning the tournament. Like, that's what it was the first, like, beforehand.
Yes.
So...
And I know that this will help that match, right? Mm-hmm. Because Kaylee Ray and Io are both better than Mandy and Cora Jade.
Okay.
And they will help that match be better and like probably make that match one of the better matches on the card. But at the same time, I just don't know if like I don't even know how to explain what I just think that the point of the Cup is to showcase the tag division.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, I lost my train of thought. What I was going to say is, imagine if the Creed brothers did this to Braun Breaker.
That's true.
It would be an outrage.
Yeah.
So, I understand that maybe the women's tag division, honestly, they probably have a plan for some tag team that wasn't even in there to maybe Indy and what's her face, like eventually.
Something like that, yeah.
But the point is, if the Creed brothers cashed in on Braun Breaker, it would be a freaking nightmare. People would be losing their mind.
Yeah.
And is that because the men's singles division is already stronger? Maybe. Or is it because the men's tag team division on NXT actually matters? Also maybe. I don't know.
Let me ask you this, though. Let's say Ciampa and Roddy decided to be a team and went in and did this. I don't think it would have that bad of a reaction. I think it's because they're not a real tag team. I think that's the underlying thing, not that the men's versus the women's.
I guess you might be right that it depends who won. Mm-hmm. So if, like you said, Casey and Caden won, that would probably be a problem.
Yeah.
But I guess because Io is a solo competitor, Kaylee Ray is a solo competitor.
Yeah.
I don't know. The match will be better.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I love how they got there.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. No, that's definitely fair.
And at the cost of the Dusty Cup is really it. And, again, maybe I'm just being a purist. The Dusty Cup is for tag teams.
Yeah. But it's kind of for tag teams.
Yeah,
so.
But it is for tag teams. So I don't know. Next week, ladder match, second chance to get into the North American title match.
A-Kid, Cameron Grimes, and Rod Derrick.
Who do we like on this one?
Not Roderick.
It's going to be A-Kid.
I think it's going to be one of the two.
I think it's A-Kid.
think A-Kid, but not Roderick Strong.
No, I don't think Roddy.
I think he has the least chance. But at the same time, I said Santos wasn't winning.
Yeah,
me
too.
So who knows?
Me too.
What do I know?
The Creed brothers training facility was sabotaged.
Yes, by MSK.
Yeah, are we sticking with that?
I think so.
The weird thing to me is, like, they did a voiceover of, like, you don't know who we are, but we're going to keep doing this until we, or whatever.
I think it's, okay, it's probably not MSK now, which is super unfortunate.
I want to say it's not because it looked like it was two white guys.
Oh, okay.
Because the guy doing the spray painting looked like hands were white, and maybe I'm just, like, colorblind. But also the guy in front of the camera was white.
Yeah.
Like, white hands.
Maybe it's Retribution.
Oh, yes, T-Bar.
No, kind of. It depends on where they go.
Yeah.
I think the MSK idea would have been really cool. Would have been really fun.
And it could have played out at Stand and Deliver.
I think it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. I assume it's someone new.
I would think so too.
I don't think it's a current tag team.
They didn't look big enough to be Briggs and Jensen.
This is a weird question, and I don't think it's them. Is the Revival under contract still? Is FTR under contract?
I don't think it's them.
No.
I don't know if they are or aren't.
Because I know they had talked about coming back.
Yeah, I would doubt it. I doubt that that's them.
Right. I don't know who else it is. It's probably someone we've never heard of, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which kind of stinks.
Which is dumb. You're going to have a new team take on a new team to, like, when they just get their title opportunity.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't love it. And it's not going to mix.
It's going to be annoying when they cost the Creeds the titles, too, at
You know what would have been really cool? And it isn't. And I'm just going to rewrite history for a second. If it was Kyle O'Reilly and what's his name? Bobby Fish.
Oh, like if they didn't leave?
No, but you know how cool that would be? If the whole thing is like, but it's not, because in my head it was, all right, well, who would have an issue with the Diamond Mine? What would make sense for somebody to have an issue with the Diamond Mine? Mm-hmm. And who better than them to be like, well, Roddy kind of kicked us to the curb and just found these new young kids.
Yeah.
I thought that would be cool. Obviously, it's not.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
That's going to be my issue is, okay, well, what's the beef with the Diamond Mine?
Yeah, why do you hate the Diamond Mine?
Yeah, why the Diamond Mine? But
unless it just is Imperium. Right? Like, there's always a chance it just is Imperium. Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, that is, I guess, a possibility.
Like those, jumping them, I could have bought was Imperium.
I can't buy is Imperium.
It's not very Imperium-like.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, people we might have seen before and stuff that could be a tag team, but I got nothing really.
I'm sure we'll find out next week or
at Stand and Deliver. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
And then I kind of think that's it, right? Raw was nothing to write home about again.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all I got.
No other big news from SmackDown.
Not really.
Nothing outside the ring.
Nope. Pretty standard week. Like I said.
And with that,
our lists.
Our list of the week. We're going in the spirit of WrestleMania. So last week we brought you our top 5 WrestleManias.
Yes.
The full events as a whole. And this week we're coming at you with our top 5. That's right, you heard it. 5 WrestleMania matches of all time. And this
was hard. This was tough.
My guys. Friends of the pod.
Yeah. This is hard.
I have probably 17 or 18 written down.
Yeah, this is a hard one. This is a hard one.
This is very challenging, and I will definitely read you all the ones I have written, but we'll try to keep the list to the top 5.
I think what was hard about this as well is there's a very delicate balance between was the match good or was the moment good?
Right. So one we both got hung up talking about was WrestleMania 31.
Yeah.
The cash-in.
Yeah.
Brock vs. Roman was a very good match.
But not a classic.
But not a top 5, not a top 10 all-time match.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins cashing in Money in the Bank
was a top 1 moment
of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It is probably my favorite WrestleMania moment.
It might be the best wrestling moment.
Yeah.
One of them.
It's at least a top 3 all-time WrestleMania moment, but for me it's looking like it's number 1.
Not counting like things that are affected by real-world events.
Yeah. Right.
It's got to be top 3. It's got to be up there.
In the kayfabe world of WWE, Seth Rollins cash-in was, I think, the most excited I've ever been for wrestling. Yeah. So, that did not make my top 5.
No.
It did not make my top 10.
No. Might not have made it 15.
Yeah. But in the event, like the moment itself, and if we're just counting that, which it is a tough.
This is also something we talked about right before the show. would be like Bobby and Drew
Yes.
from last year's WrestleMania
Right.
37.
The first match back with the crowd.
And it was exciting.
The
It was
pop
in the rain, the thunderstorm.
And that match, I wanted to give it the credit that it deserved by just talking about it here.
Yeah.
But again, not a top 10. Not even a top. Not
It's
a
one
top
of the
five,
things
not a
like
top 10.
it's very similar to the Mania itself that we talked about from last week. For people who were there, that's something you remember as like a moment forever.
Yes.
But like people who are going to go back in 7 years, 8 years that haven't watched wrestling before and watch this, it's not going to have the impact. Yeah.
They're going to mention,
it's a
the
good
first
match.
match back from COVID with fans, and everyone's like, oh, it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's a good match. And then
that's it.
You'll probably never watch it again, which is, not to be a jerk about it.
No, but that's kind of just how it is.
So much other wrestling to consume.
Yep.
All right. But with that, you want to get into your top 5?
Number 5.
Number 5.
I have an interesting, minorly controversial one.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? If you want to talk about wrestling ability, you want to talk about technical mat wrestling, chain wrestling, that's not what this is.
Oh.
This match
threw me for a loop.
This match was fun. This match was hard hitting.
Okay.
This match had the story. Mick vs. Edge at WrestleMania 22. The hardcore match.
God.
This isn't one of those like classic technical wrestling matches, but it's just two guys with a good story behind it beating the life out of each other.
And if you want some friends to get into wrestling,
You show them this.
you're like, check this out.
This match or the Armageddon Hell in a Cell
Yeah. These
are
guys
the two
gonna
matches.
get
The
after
6-man Hell in a Cell. Those are the two matches you show them.
with Rikishi off the top.
Yeah, like insane matches. Yeah.
That is a very good start.
Yeah.
My number 5. Talked about a little bit last week just as a result of the Mania itself. WrestleMania 17, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock.
Classic.
A classic.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the feud. Everyone loves the feud. There is no Rock without Stone Cold. There is no Stone Cold without The Rock. Everyone thought Vince McMahon out here to help The Rock. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Mr. McMahon is helping Stone Cold. How dare he? How could he? A beer with the boss to end the match. Unreal. An all-time classic match on an all-time classic WrestleMania. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. WrestleMania 17.
Are we snaking or?
We can snake it.
All right.
So I'll bring you guys right into number 4. Again, briefly spoken about last week as a result of the Mania. WrestleMania 20. Chris Benoit, Triple
He
H,
who shall not be named.
and Shawn Michaels in the triple threat main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Benoit finally gets it done. The confetti falls. Eddie comes out to celebrate. What a night for these two legends. If you haven't seen that match because you're a new wrestling fan or...
Probably, if you're new, you probably haven't even heard of Benoit.
Yes, because they scrubbed them, which, we leave the outside the ring stuff outside
That's
the ring.
to your own opinion,
Yes.
whether that should have happened or not. But
Obviously, it's a tragedy. But Chris Benoit is this match specifically.
it's how much you separate the art from the
Yes.
artist is really what it comes down to.
The match itself, the build, everything to it. The guy couldn't get it. Comes in, gets it done against two of the best to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
Great match. Highly recommend it.
Number 4 for me, and rest in peace. We got Shawn versus Razor, WrestleMania 10 ladder match.
An absolute classic.
Everyone knows the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows the end.
Nope, everyone forgets.
Everyone forgets that Razor beat him.
Was the winner.
But everyone remembers that spot of Shawn jumping off the ladder for the splash.
Yep.
Classic match. The first ever ladder match, right?
Yep.
Awesome match.
Brings down the titles. Awesome match. WrestleMania 10, a little bit older. So if you're not a wrestling purist or a historian.
It's definitely a different type of wrestling.
And if you're a new fan, go check it out. For sure, go check it out.
Yeah.
The thing is, with this list, for me and for a lot of other people, it could have just been a Shawn Michaels list.
100%. I have them next.
Yes. So it could have been a Shawn Michaels list. And I, quite frankly, kept him out of my top 5.
Really? Okay.
He's my favorite wrestler of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He would be in my top 10. He is in my top 10. He's in all of my honorable mentions. but I left him out of my top 5. But not really important. So
number 3, Shawn. The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25. 26 was good, but not as good.
26, the rematch. The
once in a
career
lifetime
versus the
rematch.
streak.
Yeah. 25 though.
Talked about as the greatest match of all time.
I'll entertain it. It's not mine.
No, it's not mine.
But I'll
either.
entertain it. People forget that match went for like 40 minutes.
Yep.
Taker saved Shawn's life. Shawn saved Taker's life.
Both of them returning the favor.
Yep. In the match.
Yeah. An incredible match.
Yeah, insane. It's one of those things that we talked about last week where I've watched it 100 times.
Yeah.
But every time I see it, it's like, oh, Shawn's going to do it. He's going to do it.
And we both, I believe, had the same number 1.
We had the same number 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. So we'll get into that. But it's those kind of matches where, like, even though I've seen it so many times, I can still suspend the disbelief.
Yeah.
Like, the streak is going to end,
Yeah.
and I know it didn't.
Yeah.
But my number 3, another bit of an older match, WrestleMania 13, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret, the Hitman Hart. And when you talk about iconic, stone cold moments, and Bret Hart, another one of those guys, talked about as the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Not going to get any pushback from me.
Nope.
I'm not necessarily my greatest of all time, but
fair argument.
Yeah, you could convince me. But to watch Stone Cold bleeding out of the face in the sharpshooter, refusing to tap out, and to just pass out and lose, it got Stone Cold so over without having to win, and man, it just. When you talk about how, like, oh, back in the day, it was just so much better. Some of it was.
Some of it
so
definitely
much
was.
better, and this is one of them. I definitely recommend going to check this match out. I mean, we're getting into the heart of WrestleMania season.
Yeah.
You should be wanting to get fired up to watch all of
definitely some good matches on these lists to watch.
Your favorite Manias and your favorite Mania matches. I would start here. This is a good one.
Do you want to go into your honorable mentions before we talk about the top 2?
Yeah, so, you know what? I'll read you guys my 6 through honorable mentions, right? And maybe I'll talk about some of them, just mention others. WrestleMania 20, Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle. Another great one. WrestleMania 37, the main event. Edge, Daniel Bryan,
It's a good one.
Roman Reigns.
It's a really good one.
Recency bias me all you want. I don't care. That match was awesome. I had WrestleMania 25, Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. WrestleMania 21, Randy Orton versus Undertaker.
Another very good one. That one also watch as much as the feud as you can.
Yeah, yes.
Because that was really cool.
That really did contribute to it. The payoff, it was awesome. WrestleMania.
One of the, maybe not the best, but more iconic RKOs.
Yeah. Maybe a top 5 or top 10.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 34. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor,
It's a
and
good
The
match.
Miz.
It's a really good match.
People probably hear that and like, what? Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and The Miz? A mid-card title? Yes.
Yeah.
Because this is when Seth Rollins became a Grand Slam champion.
Yep.
Never forget it. WrestleMania 18. The Rock versus Hulk Hogan.
It's a good one. The iconic picture.
Yes. So you guys can see why I have all these matches listed, why it's so hard to break it down to a top 5.
Say, is this one better? Is this
top
one
10.
worse?
Like, my top 3, no, really my top 5, it's pretty concrete. That's pretty easy for me. But after that, it gets all muddy. Then I had WrestleMania 10.
Yeah.
So Razor and Michaels. WrestleMania 19, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle.
It's another good one.
Insane. WrestleMania 37, Night 1 main event.
Very
Sasha
good.
and Bianca.
That was very good.
Do not overlook that match.
No.
An incredible showing between the two women.
Really good.
WrestleMania 31, Lesnar, Reigns, Seth. Honorable mention. Maybe would have made the top 15. Would have been close.
Yeah.
As I sit here and rattle off all these other ones. Last 2.
It's hard to take. It's interesting on that one, too. It's because the moment is part of the match. It's not just about how good the moment is. That is that it's part of the match.
It becomes a triple threat.
Yeah, I think it's very similar to the thing with Austin and The Rock.
Yeah.
Where that moment is a part of the match.
Yes.
It's not like
it just happened.
where you said like the Benoit thing with Eddie. That's after the match. That's a great moment. It's fine. And still, the match itself is still
phenomenal,
insane.
Yeah.
But like it contributes to the match.
Yeah.
It makes the match what it is.
Yes.
So it's tough.
Okay. Before I keep you guys here all night, listing all of the great WrestleMania
Yeah, we'll be here all
matches,
day.
I got WrestleMania 19, Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels, and then WrestleMania 12, the Iron Man.
It's another good one.
Classic.
All right.
Let's do it.
Number 2.
Shoot.
TLC. Triple threat. For the tag team titles.
WrestleMania 17.
The Dudleys.
The Hardys. Edge and Christian.
The Edge and Christian.
The 3 tag teams alone would have made this must-see TV. The stipulation made it
Can't
unmissable.
miss.
Can't miss. And then
The greatest spot in the history of wrestling. And I'll say that.
Yeah. All of the interferences.
Yeah.
Lita coming out, whale tail showing, hits a freaking Hurricane Rana, Rhino coming out, Spike Dudley coming out. People are taking tumbles from these 12, 20-foot, all these high ladders. Jeff Hardy's flying through tables from the top of a ladder in the ring. And then, the spot of all spots. To not be forgotten, to never be overlooked. Jeff Hardy hanging from the belts. Who is up there climbing the ladder? But Edge, the rated R superstar. And this lunatic, this scared of a man, hits a spear
Off of the ladder.
on Jeff Hardy, who's dangling 15 feet above the freaking ring. And Jeff Hardy goes parallel to the floor, slams off the mat. Edge lands directly on his knees. Probably the scariest spot.
Yeah.
Like,
It's up there.
excluding like the ones where people are like falling on tacks, Mick Foley through the cage, like
And or anything Shane McMahon has done in his life.
yeah, like every time
Excluding
he jumps off the
those.
slab.
Yeah.
That is insane. And then Edge and Christian take the belts home.
Insane. Phenomenal.
When I tell you an all-time match, and I am willing to bet most people have seen this one.
Yeah.
But if you haven't, WrestleMania.
This is one that WWE really loves to shove in your face.
Yes, they love this.
Yeah.
That spot especially.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. Take 4 hours of your day and just watch WrestleMania 17.
Yeah.
Because
But if you don't have the time, watch that
find
match.
40 minutes
Yeah.
to watch WrestleMania 17 TLC match.
Insane.
Incredible.
Insane.
And then,
Number 1. The greatest match of all time.
in my opinion, in your opinion,
Yes.
in our podcast humble opinion, the greatest match of all time.
Not WrestleMania,
But
not
also,
WWE.
it just
the
happens
best match
to be the
of
greatest
all time.
Mania match. And again, this wasn't a top 5 Mania for either of
No,
us.
not even close. This Mania was pretty bad.
But this match, and
WrestleMania.
I know the result. We know the result. But when I watch it, I still get the chills.
WrestleMania 28.
Hell,
Hell in a Cell. Triple H versus The Undertaker.
Special guest referee
Shawn
Shawn
Michaels.
Michaels.
I think what's one of these things that makes this match so special, pre-match, is that this is the first time in like the history of the streak, and probably the only time, where Undertaker was chasing. It wasn't who wants to fight me for the streak. It was
yeah.
I need to fight Triple H again.
Yeah,
I have to. I need it. I won, but I couldn't walk out of the arena at 27.
yeah. And then to have Shawn, special guest referee, supposed to be unbiased.
Unbiased
He's supposed
official.
to be doing his job. Sweet chin music right to the Undertaker. Turns around, kick to the chest, right into the pedigree. He's gonna do it. 1, 2. He kicks out at 2. An all-time spot.
Insane.
I cannot tell you how many times I've seen this match, and every time I'm like,
He's gonna do
he's
it.
gonna do it. If I needed to show a friend wrestling, or a stranger wrestling, like, why do you like wrestling so much? Why do you love this WWE? WrestleMania 28, Hell in a Cell,
Yep.
Triple H versus The Undertaker.
Yep.
It's just incredible. It's everything you want in professional
And it
wrestling.
truly was the end of the era.
Yes.
That
No,
was it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Nothing after that lived up to that standard.
That era of wrestling, yeah.
And when it's like, you look at pro wrestling, what do you want? Storytelling, athleticism, spots, emotion. Like,
It's everything. It checks every single box you could want from wrestling.
I literally cannot want more from a match than that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt that you had two of probably the top 5 or 10 best of all time, and then the best of all time as the referee. Yeah. Like, it doesn't hurt, but boy.
And I understand people have other opinions about what are better matches, and I will not push back on a lot of them. I will push back on negative things about this match.
Yeah.
There's not more to be desired.
Yes.
There are some things where, like, I like this more, but there's not more to be desired. There's not like, oh, well, they didn't do this, or I wanted... No.
Yes.
No.
You're hitting the nail on the head with that one. I'm not going to tell anybody that their favorite match isn't as good or better than this. Like, I'll entertain whatever you throw at me. But you're not going to tell me this match was missing something.
Yeah.
Because the build-up was there. The delivery of the match was there. You could feel the tension before the match started. These two behemoths staring each other down. Like, and WrestleMania 28, at the time, it's like, this might be the end of, like, The Undertaker. This might be the end of Triple H. Like, these guys, like, sure, they might come out every now and then, but this could really be the end of your career.
Yeah.
And, dude, they delivered.
I think what really sets the moment for the match is whenever anyone has Hell in a Cell, I think the fact that they didn't have the sit cage down really is like, it's one of those things that's really tiny detail, but it's such a big thing. Is that's not what the match is about. That's not. It's not Hell in a Cell. It's not. People don't come in and slap the thing. You look nervous. Eye to eye, locked into the middle of the ring, while Satan's structure comes down around them.
And this is when Hell in a Cell mattered.
Yeah.
Like, not to say it's not.
It doesn't matter anymore. I'll say
match.
that. It doesn't matter anymore. But
the women.
Hell in a Cell wasn't a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
This was you saw Hell in a Cell if you're lucky once a year.
When it was to end the biggest feud.
Yeah.
Like a violent.
The only time that Hell in a Cell has been used well in recent memory that I can think of after this point has been Edge and Seth.
That was good. And what was it? Was it Bayley and Sasha or Beck?
Yeah, but I mean, not on the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. But yeah, man. And then like the sledgehammer getting involved. It's just
so much.
It's
good.
everything.
Yeah.
It's everything. Like the characters at the time, like Triple H, like it hit what their characters were supposed to be. And again, maybe I'm just biased, but like the big man style of wrestling, like watching Triple H hit spine busters on Taker, it's like, all right, these guys are going at it.
Yeah.
Like this, I haven't like faltered on this being my favorite match of all time either. Like once this has been there, and since I've seen it and rewatched it, it's like there's not a lot that holds up against it.
The only thing, and maybe not even, the only thing I could even predict that might come close is if towards the end of their careers we get Roman and Seth.
Yes.
That's the only thing that could come close to this.
And I'm just hoping they do this right for Roman and Seth.
Yeah.
Which is a good way to wrap this up because I could talk about this match forever.
Yeah.
But if we got Roman, and I'm not to say Roman's going to be champion for another 2-3 years because he's probably going to retire soon. Like,
I don't know. We'll see.
40, 38.
Roman? Is he that old?
I think so.
Maybe then.
But whatever, not important. But he's at the top of his game. Seth is known as the best in the industry. These two guys have carried wrestling now for probably 7 years. Like, these two deserve it.
Yeah.
The history's there. They could send out this era. Kind of similar to what you're saying, like end of an era. Like, could be big.
I think I hope it's done well too, and I feel like a lot of that could be out of WWE's hands. Because the problem is Roman is very Cena-esque outside of WWE, where Seth is not. So, like, Cena could never have a moment like this because he's in movies and he's back and he's movies he's back. And that's fine. That's what he chose. That's, it is what it is. Undertaker was never that. And Triple H was never that. And even Shawn was never that. It was, this is what I do.
Yeah, but at that time, too, wrestling was all about wrestling.
That's what I'm saying. That's why
now WWE
even with a Roman and Seth, I think it'll still be hard to top this because it's
Roman isn't quite as out there yet. Like, he's out there, but he's...
No, but let's be honest. Would you be surprised if in 4 years he stepped away to do movies and then came back every once in a while like Cena did for 4 to 5 years?
No, but at the same time, Taker and H didn't leave after that. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what I mean.
You could have this big payoff.
I know what you mean, but you saw Taker and H on weekly television for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
They didn't take time off to do movies. They didn't. It was we are wrestlers. We are professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Seth shows no signs of going anywhere.
No, I think Seth. This is what Seth wants to do.
It is a Roman problem.
No, 100%.
Because Roman's definitely trying to be The Rock.
Yeah. So, which is fine.
Yeah. Look, man, the pieces are there for the story too.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't revisited Roman hasn't beat Seth.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't revisited that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will. They
will.
know they have it.
Yeah.
So
because they talked about it, so it's there.
So hopefully,
they know.
when they do it right.
Yeah.
With that said,
like and subscribe.
Yeah, go ahead, go for it.
Like and subscribe down below if you guys enjoyed this type of content.
Mm-hmm.
Comment, let us know your favorite match or top 5 matches, whatever you want to do.
Yep.
WrestleMania right around the corner.
Yeah, we're a week out of Mania.
Next show will be the prediction show for Mania and Stand and Deliver. So keep an eye out for that.
2 SmackDowns.
Tell your friends
Raw,
to get excited.
And then it's
1 NXT.
1 NXT.
And then we're at WrestleMania.
Yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend. We're on Twitter, Instagram.
Instagram at @wrestled_pod. Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Everything.
YouTube.
Everywhere. Yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Yep.
As always, like, comment, subscribe, guys. You don't understand. It means the world to us.
Helps
a lot. It really does help us get other.
The amount of times we
exposure.
talk about like, somebody random tweeted that, we love it.
Yeah,
really,
we do love
it means a lot.
And the exposure, like, even if it's one person, 2 people, like, it helps.
Yeah,
one person becomes 2, 2 becomes 4. So thanks again for hanging out, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.